I'm Chris. That's Tyler. A little bit behind schedule today. It's been a long day. Tyler, this is my 5th show of the day, but I'm very excited for it because obviously it's with you. And I just want you to know I was dozing off during some of my shows earlier, but I had a pre-workout about an hour and a half ago. So I will be up until 2 a.m., which is a good thing because I'll be watching a lot of West Coast baseball. I'm Chris True. That's my co-host, Tyler McCormick. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had to do some parenting tonight that took a little longer, and I had to do some youth baseball commissioner work.
Ooh, commissioner work. How was that?
I just had to send out the rosters that I created for the league, so it took
You
me a
guys
little
are-
while.
You guys are late.
But yeah, you could call me commish.
I'm not calling you commish, bro. Get out of here. I'm coaching my first practice tomorrow.
There we go.
Commish is on top of things. Our commish sent things out a month ago. It's cool though.
Right.
It's cool though. A lot that I want to talk about. Obviously, like you guys saw the title, and I try not to do this, but I've been internally like wrestling with myself about when is it a fair chance or when is it a fair time to really start to evaluate and tweak the expectations we have for a lot of these players coming in, right? And through the first part of spring, there's been one by far and away clear star that everybody from the media, from the coaching staff to the players, all have acknowledged. And Riley's kind of like co-signed it. And so I do want to have a conversation about like when can we start rethinking freshman expectations, or should we hang on to our initial freshman expectations until the season actually begins? So I guess we can start here. How much thought have you given Brock Boyd over the last month compared to how much you thought about him before that?
It's definitely significantly more. I mean, definitely say that. I do think that we should wait until fall camp because there's been a lot of times where a guy pops in the spring and things are happening and, you know, we don't know exactly who we do. Well, we do know, but like there are guys sitting out for injuries. There are starters that are, sitting out. They're on pitch counts because of a long season, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So am I encouraged? Yes, but I definitely think that I am. I'm going to wait till the fall.
Okay.
If he's doing this in the fall, like there's no way you can't not acknowledge like he's probably going to play.
I usually, with this kind of thing, err on the side of caution. This is one of the times where I almost don't want to. I feel like a lot of times, and this is going to be a lot of semantics that I'm going to be going through right now, just generally speaking. I think that this feels different than a lot of times when guys like flash in the spring, because this doesn't feel like someone flashing in the spring. This is someone consistently making plays in the spring. And that I think is far different than what we've seen previously. And you're not just hearing it again from fans or media. You're hearing it from players to the point now where we're getting clips of Brock Boyd doing this against ones. And I think in the spring, one of the things that I try to do, right, is I'm not going to lower an expectation for someone who I've already seen on the football field in the spring. So my counter is to raise an expectation for someone who I haven't seen yet on the football field. And this is what I mean by that. Maybe I'm alone, and I know maybe it's unpopular right now. I think that Jermaine Matthews is an all Big Ten level player.
Sure, I agree.
It feels like Brock Boyd is getting the better of him at least a decent amount, at least one time, at least two times. So when I see that, my reaction, while it might not be to go full he's white JSN, but I start to think, oh, wait a second, dude. Like, is this another one of those kids from Texas who come in super, super polished and they keep making plays and they make it undeniable? Because Texas high school football is great. Those kids are all extremely well coached, right? Doesn't this just feel eerily similar to the spring before Garrett's freshman year and to the spring before JSN's freshman year?
Yeah, no, I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think it's an
No, I'm not
unpopular.
even trying to. I'm not even trying to debate you. My bad if my tone feels like I'm not trying to
No,
debate
no,
or anything.
I think where I differ from where you are is that I think the spring is just a controlled is more of a controlled environment. You know,
Yes.
and so I think he's thriving and he's doing the things that you want him to do. The thing where I think you're right to be excited is that it's happening every single day.
That's what I'm saying. Because like,
It's not a one off. It's not a
it's
like, oh my God, this day he was really good. It happening every day. But I still want to see it more. I want to see it in the fall where the intensity is now raised. I want to
mhm.
see it happening more where he's out there running with the ones. I think he's really good. Like I've seen the clips. I've seen them all. We've been passing them in the group chats. Like it's legit. You know, I still like. I'm gonna wait until the fall.
And this is, I think, where we differ as creators. Because what is my slogan?
You don't just be early.
I'm early. And look, I'm not as early as Juck on this. Juck was earlier than me.
Yeah. No,
But
Juck's been excited about this kid for like 8 months.
yeah, Juck was the earliest. But my thing is, you look for the signals on when to buy stock. This feels like every signal is blinking bright red. Hey, look, black stripe before some of the transfers, I think, is
Sure.
alarming. To Ben's point, power. He played for South Lake Carroll, powerhouse 6A football, same as Garrett Wilson, same as JSN, was dominant and is about the same size as JSN. And do you know who was the highest? Do you know who was the number one receiver in the Ohio State class when JSN was here?
So JSN, wasn't it him? No, it was not
No,
him. It was not him. It was so that'd be the class after Garrett, right?
correct.
I don't know.
It was Julian Fleming and G. Scott.
Oh yeah.
And
I should have known that. I should know that.
initially, JSN was a 3-star, and he rose and came as a 5-star. But the excitement was still all about Fleming. Now, look, Fleming is not, to me at least, and this is not revisionist history. You can go back and look. Fleming isn't level prospect. I think Chris Henry Jr. is, because Fleming played at a school that wasn't very. You know where Fleming played.
He played in the mountains of Pennsylvania. He played against nowhere.
He played against people that would have played JV at Firestone High School. I'm not even trying to be funny. I swear. And also,
I also think
he played in a triple option offense.
It was also COVID, and like the people that like I think rank these kids and watch these kids, like they couldn't go out and watch them play.
Well, I think people did go.
There was a lot of misevaluations in the 2020 class.
Well, Fleming was like a case of like free. It was freak versus polish. Like Fleming was a freak, and he just looked freakier. And he went to camps and dominated too. Like he went to the Elite 11 and dominated. But that's because, look, I can run drag routes and I'm really fast.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was. I mean, he had all the shoulder injuries that kind of hurt him. But like the fact that Brock Boyd got his black stripe off this early, to me, is the coaching staff signaling, hey, change your expectations for this kid.
Here's what I will say. Here's where I'm going to meet you in the middle. I think it's time. I think the conversation should turn into that it's time for Ryan Day to enforce a wide receiver coach to rotate these kids and play more than 3 guys. I think it's the conversation. That's where it needs to go, because it just seems like there are more playable receivers than they've had probably in a while. And like, I'm not, and like to say that is kind of wild, but like if you really go back and look, like 2023, it was Marvin JSN and like Young Emeka, and there wasn't really anybody behind him.
I just want to point out how funny that is. Like Marv, JSN, and Young Emeka. Emeka and Marv were the same age.
Yeah, they were. I shouldn't say young.
It's just funny because like they came in together, and Emeka was the number 1 wide receiver in the country, and Marv was outside the top 100.
Right.
But we found out in camp who the jewel was, didn't we? Now Emeka's awesome. And I think honestly, like Brock Boyd and these other 2 receivers could end up being like that. Like, hey, look, Guilford and Chris Henry are rated higher, but maybe this kid's the jewel because the polish is there.
Yeah, and then you go look at 2024, and it's Jeremiah, it's Emeka, and Carnell Tate, and there really wasn't anything behind them, that we really loved. And then the same thing happened
Well,
again.
I'll push, but here's the thing: like, if Carnell Tate was behind, like Carnell Tate was on the team with Emeka and them, so like there was someone behind them.
Yeah, but he was a true. I mean, he should have played over
No,
Julian Clement.
I'm saying like we're talking, we're doing for the freshman thing.
We're having a. So you're stretching it to 4 in 2023. I'm saying right now, like, you can make the argument that, like, what is there, 6 guys that we really like?
Yeah, no, I do want to
actually play.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to push the button and say those guys can actually play until they get the black stripe off. Because the black stripe to me is you went from flashing to you're stringing that you're stacking really good days.
Sure. No, I get it. I think with the transfers is different. Like, I'm expecting Kyle Parker and McCune to get their black stripes off if they haven't already.
They did, but they lost both of theirs after Brock Boyd. And I guess I don't know how much weight you put in the black stripe.
I mean, I do, and I like. There's definitely value to it. I don't know if it's like Bible, like law.
I think I think that's just the order that guys lose their black stripe, right?
Sure, that's fair.
Do you know who the 2 fastest? There's, who the 3 fastest players to ever lose their black stripe are?
I'm going to say Jeremiah, Carnell Tate,
correct.
I guess it's now Brock Boyd.
Brock Boyd. Those are the 3 fastest ever.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, we're talking about, we know who Jeremiah is, obviously. You have Brandon Ennis, who I think is, I still believe he's better than people think.
Dude, there was I'm cutting you off, and I'm gonna let you get back to it. There was a prime example on the Student Appreciation Day of like what Brandon Ennis went through the entire year on the final play of the game of the scrimmage. It was Jeremiah Smith double covered in the back of the end zone, and McCune running wide open on a slant underneath.
Yeah.
And what did Julian do? I'm just gonna show Jeremiah. It's like, but like McCune was wide open, and it's like that happened to Brandon Ennis the entire year.
I don't care, bro. Just throw it to 4. If you want to score,
I do. No.
Throw it to 4.
You want to score? Throw it to 4. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, people like to talk about like Brandon. It's like he sucks, but it's like no. Everybody that plays the slot is going to go through the same thing he went through because there is that. Okay, I'm going to take that there.
Sure. So you have those 2. You have McCune and you have Parker, who we've seen play college football, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Brock Boyd, who is garnering a lot of hype right now. And also, like, we've also seen clips of Jeremiah or Chris Henry Jr. like being like a really tall, freaky, fast athlete that's running by people, where when in doubt, like, he can just tell them to run straight.
Yeah.
So, like, there's 6 guys that we're talking about for the first time in a while that can all play. Like, we haven't had 6 guys that could play since probably what, 2018, 2019.
The 2018 room. I mean, I think we've had 4 guys that could play a bunch of other years.
Yeah,
like 6. I don't know.
I mean, we're talking about 6 dudes. I mean, you have to play them all. You have to. I think that's the conversation that should be happening. It's like there's no excuses now. There's no debate. There's no nothing. It's like rotate these guys. Like everybody except for Jeremiah should be, running out there. They should all have, 15 to 20 snaps a game. Yeah. And Jeremiah plays his normal, 60 or whatever.
Who do you think should be third on the team at receiver in snaps?
In snaps? Oh, man, that's a tough call. At the end of the year, like when it's all said
and done. Talking about that Michigan game ends, postseason's here. Who is third on the team in snaps?
Oh, man, what a great question. I'm going to say Brandon Ennis still.
Third?
Yeah.
So who's second? Because to me, BI's a lock for 2.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you asked me second. You asked me third.
Right, third.
I don't know, man. I think
you thought second was a good question. Third's a better question.
Yeah, third is a better question. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a homer pick. It's a safe pick. I'm going to say Kyle Parker because he is Hankins' guy.
and this is where I think that I am myself morphing the conversation. I think it is going to be Brock Boyd because I think, first of all, shout out to Brock Boyd's dad. He spells his name with a K, K-R-I-S, Chris Boyd. Your granddad, hey, Brock, your granddaddy's one of
We've
them ones.
officially discovered why the Love Fest is here.
No, the Love Fest is already here. I think, and this is going to be racist, I think that Brock Boyd, coach's son, is going to be well-versed in all three receiver positions. And I think that they're going to move Jeremiah Smith around a ton. And I think when they do, you want somebody out there who can play all three slots. And I think that's going to be a position of value. But I also think at times when they move Jeremiah into the slot or into the Z, which they will do, they will move him around, you're going to see Chris Henry Jr. a decent amount at the X. But I think the versatility and the cross-training and the security blanket element of Brock Boyd is going to, at the end of the year, going to lead to him being the I guess the third most played receiver in snaps. And it could be kind of like how we saw the changing of guard when it came to Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I listen. There is a good chance that you are going to be correct about this. I believe you. I'm just not ready to go there right now.
I'm so chips in on Texas high school football because think about all the guys that have played early. Close your eyes. All the guys that have played early in the Ryan Day and Urban Meyer era. It feels like they all kind of come from one spot, and then there's plus Jeremiah.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, J.K. Dobbins was from Texas.
JSN
was from Texas.
Garrett
was from Texas.
Okuda.
Yep.
Although
Okuda was technically an Urban Meyer recruit, I believe.
Yeah, he was Urban, yeah. But so was J.K. Dobbins.
No, but you are, yes, you are correct. You are correct.
And Garrett Wilson.
Listen, there is no doubt about it. If you asked me,
and you forgot Devin Sanchez.
If you asked me to rank high school football by state, I would say number 1 is Texas. I would say number 2 is Florida. I would say number 3 is probably.
I have Ohio at 3.
I have Ohio at 4.
Okay, you probably Georgia 3.
I was actually going to say California.
Okay,
and then
California, I feel like is so positional and like I think they're great. But
I think you could say that about. I think you could say that about Florida too.
I don't think. I think Florida gives you everything.
You think Florida provides you a great offensive lineman?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to say
not great offensive lineman. Great defensive lineman.
Yeah, defensive lineman, no doubt. I'm talking about offensive lineman.
No.
So I think you could convince me to switch. I'm not tied to the order. I think those are the 5 states though that I would go with.
Yeah, and also it's fluid, dude. But the one that's not fluid to me is Texas.
Although you know what, Rod has a point though. I'm not sure I agree with his order, but Louisiana has a point because Louisiana has the top end talent is crazy.
Well, in my pushback in the last 20 years, Louisiana is almost identical to Ohio.
Okay. I mean, like I said, that's my very
loose, not research. But yeah. I know Louisiana gets it because they have the accent. But dog, think about what's about to go in the top 10 of this draft.
No, I'm talking about
where those freaks are from.
I think it was Nick Saban or Bill Belichick said that there's more NFL players per capita from Louisiana than any other state in America.
But I think that's since swayed, right?
I don't know. I just read it. I was like, I think Nick Saban said it on game day. And I was like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, but Nick Saban be lying, bro. He said that he had Julian Sand and sat him behind Jalen Milroe for a year. So that boy just be lying for the sake of it.
It's true. You're not wrong in that. You're definitely not wrong in that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I was just thinking about we've just seen these guys from Texas because what does Ryan Day love? He doesn't really love the home run stuff. He wants you to be consistent first and then the home run stuff. And
I mean, if you think about what NFL offenses like, NFL coordinators and NFL offensive coaches, they want you to be at a certain spot on the field at the right moment.
Timing.
Everything's about timing. And It seems like the way that Brock Boyd, his ability to run the correct routes is because that's the thing that I keep hearing is like he's a professional route runner,
Yeah.
which means he knows the depth and the angle that he has to be at in the right amount of time in that exact moment. And I think to get on the field with Ryan Day early, he has to trust you. And it seems like he's building the trust very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if you are right.
Dude, here's the thing. I fucking hope I'm right. I just put Brock Boyd on a thumbnail with a blurred out picture of JSN behind him. If he doesn't play or if he ends up busting, people are going to be on my ass. So making that thumbnail and thinking through this, you know that I thought long and hard about this.
Yeah.
This is not an out on a whim thing. This isn't like I want to hear my own voice. This is like I got my feet in the concrete. And not that I think he's the most talented of the three receivers, but I think he pushes Ryan Day's love button. And when you push Ryan Day's love button, you're out there. I also am not very high on McCune anyway. I think if you're going to play at Ohio State, like you're in a G5, I would like you to go over 100 yards more than once in a year.
Do you think he's just a really fast guy?
Congrats. It's Ohio State.
No,
we had a really fast guy that was 6'2" with ball skills. He ended up catching 0 passes for Wisconsin. Congrats on being fast.
I'm asking. I literally just asked you. Do you think he's just a fast guy?
I think he's a floor raiser because I don't think they knew what they were gonna get. I like obviously like if you are Cortez Hankton, you are not as familiar with this freshman class as Hartline was. So like you're gonna be feeling like I gotta raise the floor, just in case I need a third, right? I'm going into this year, I need a third. I don't know what I'm getting. And also Cortez Hankton, and why I think that maybe why Brock Boyd and maybe Guilford too have the advantage over Chris Henry right now. The one thing that Cortez Hankton seems to really, really want is what? Yeah, yards after catch. Yeah. I love Chris Henry, but he's more from that Marv cloth. He's not like a big.
And I think Chris Henry Jr. And I think Chris Henry Jr. is the guy that Ryan wants to replace Jeremiah with.
He's going to be the
prototypical X.
Yeah, he's going to be
your big alpha male physical target.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I need that dig across the middle, and I have to have it, I'm going to throw it to CHJ. Yeah. I'm going to throw it to Chris Henry Jr. And I think that's okay. And if Brock, the thing that I don't want to happen is that if Chris Henry Jr. doesn't play as much as Brock Boyd does, I don't want people saying that Chris Henry Jr. is a bust because his job and what the vision of him is coming after Jeremiah leaves.
Yeah. I mean, that's
he was brought here to replace Jeremiah.
I mean, honestly, his frame looks like AJ Green to be I don't want to go crazy, but his frame looks like AJ Green. He's an X.
Yes.
Boyd,
you're not going to move. You're not going to move Chris Henry Jr. around. You're going to move. It's just not going to happen.
No, he is going to be the backup X this year in Columbus, and he's going to play with Jeremiah Smith on the field because Jeremiah Smith is going to be able to play all three receiver positions.
As far as
I want to talk about the offensive line room. I don't know if you heard what Ryan Day said today.
I did not.
Sarah Veld and Philip Daniels out for the spring. They're out.
Don't love that.
Carter Lowe, Ian Moore getting almost all the first team reps at both tackle spots. That's two pure tackle bodies. There is no guard in them at all. Those are tackle bodies. So they're going to get a chance to develop. Now, two parts. I hate that the guys who I needed to develop are not going to be able to develop, but I love that the guys that need to develop are going to get a chance to develop. It's like the, good old double-edged sword. And I like that Carter Lowe, quote unquote, looks really athletic, doesn't look new in his body. The weight looks good. The feet and hands look good. A lot of work, but there's some big dogs that are prototypical tackle bodies. Both of them 6'6", both of them long arms. Carter Lowe, I don't know if you know this, Carter Lowe was a basketball player up until way late. And I watched him take over games there in Toledo. And when you watch an offensive lineman take over a game, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're running to the left side every time. Come get me. I'm throwing guys at the club.
So my initial reaction to this is I'm excited for Carter Lowe and Ian Moore. I think Ian Moore has a better chance to play, and I think Carter Lowe will have to be very special these last few practices for the spring, and here's why. We just talked about what you have to have for Ryan Day to throw you out there as a young player. And I know that Carter Lowe is not just, he's not afraid, he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
But like he would be a young player, and he has to trust you. And the problem with the offensive line is that there's really not a warm up. Like you get to play Ball State, but then it's right at Texas.
And this is year 3, Colin Simmons in the money year.
Right. And so it's like you gotta, for better or for worse, I think you're going to see Austin Cerevel playing left tackle and Philip Daniels is playing right tackle because he knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what they have to do offensively with them out there. And he's not going to trust that. He's not going to just trust anybody going out there. It would be different if Texas was game 3, I think. And the schedule also didn't just like jump right into Texas to Iowa. It's just like, it just kind of, it doesn't, the schedule doesn't stop. It hits you. It's like, and it's just one of those things where I don't think he's going to throw out a kid out there that he doesn't know and trust.
But I think that there is going to be more.
So in order for Carter Lowe to play, he's going to have to be so good. Undeniably good.
I think it's less likely for Carter Lowe to play. I think the real important thing is that Ian Moore could play. Like Ian Moore was closest. I mean, you already have like Montgomery.
We've already seen Ian Moore play. So
you have Montgomery saying, "Hey, this is a first rounder." Like,
yeah.
So like he is like look, Carter Lowe's gonna have to take a monumental leap, but Ian Moore could give you a reason to kick Austin inside because I cannot have Austin and Phillip both a tackle this year because in a 12-team playoff, you got to run through some dudes, man. You have to.
I just think that if Ian Moore capitalizes on this moment, I think sliding Austin Cerevel to the right guard position not only moves Austin Cerevel into his natural position, but it also will naturally and instantaneously improve Philip Daniels with having Austin Cerevel right next to him.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because it's going to allow Philip Daniels to lean on Austin Cerevel to almost like tell him what to do.
Yeah,
like you can see it like Austin could be next to him, like, hey, I got him, you got him.
Yeah.
And then it's just like they just can work that way. And I think it instantaneously makes Philip Daniels better. But and Ian Moore, like this is the moment. Like this is your moment. And so to me, if Ian Moore doesn't win this job, I think it's a combination of Ryan Day not trusting him and him not seizing the moment.
Yeah, and I'll add, like, there also has to be someone that like puts you in the best spot to develop. And if like everyone's just going to be who they are when they came in, I also put that on Bowen as well.
Well, I would say, yeah. And I think at the end of the year, that's where I switch the blame to Tyler Bowen. Like, hey man, you got to go.
Well, I guess like I would give some of it right now because here we go. If Ian Moore's not the starter if Ian Moore's not the starter and Austin Cerevel does the exact same thing as he was last year, that means that nobody developed at all.
True. That's a fact.
And that's an issue, dog. Like we can't have it.
I think the only coach, in my opinion, that's on the hot seat is Tyler Bowen. Like it's got to be better. Like it has to be better. You can't you got to be better, and like you can't be the reason why we don't win the national champ. Like why we don't achieve our goals.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You can't be the problem 2 years because when I think about it.
You don't get to be the problem 2 years in a row. It's how the world works.
The guys that are the problem, the guys whose positions are the problem 2 years in a row, like Ryan Day he's not hesitant to cut bait.
unless you're the special teams guy.
Yeah, that's a whole separate.
Yeah. Did you see people losing their minds over that 35-yard field goal?
I can't. I'm too far removed. Like I'm in the middle. I'm not going to worry about kickers right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
not going to allow DG to
No, DG's got to play tomorrow. Happy belated birthday to DG, man.
Oh, there we go.
Shout out my guy. That's all I have Ohio State wise.
Do you want to do a tier maker?
Yeah, we can do a team maker, but I did want to ask you a general question.
Sure.
Just a call. I've been asking all of this. I asked Zach. I asked Pat. I've been asking everybody that'll listen. Are you? I don't know if you saw what the SEC did last week. They are like working on this like coordinated effort. They would like to get rid of their conference title game.
In my personal opinion, I think we're headed to the direction of. Let me put it this way. Actually, we're gonna act like I didn't just say anything.
Okay.
I would like to see a model where it's not technically the conference championship game. It becomes a play-in weekend.
Okay.
Where I think the Big Ten and the SEC. What I would do with the Big Ten and the SEC is I would have 1 versus 2.
You guys all do this. You guys all jump the gun. Just real quick. The SEC said that they want to get rid of their conference title game. They want the Big Ten to play theirs.
Well, the SEC is always trying to do things to make their life easier. So
literally just trying to sneak an advantage. That's where I'm at. You literally have the 1 extra conference game, and now you come out. That's what I wanted to do there. But
all they had to do was say, like, we are going to push to remove conference championship games, period. And I don't think it would have been a problem.
No, but here's the thing. They don't want to do that. They want the advantage. Literally, as soon as they go to 1 extra conference game, they now try to weasel their way into getting an advantage. That is why I asked the question. But I am open to it because the SEC wants to have an advantage.
I hear you. I know. So you're right. They are absolutely trying to find. They're like the when the older brother starts losing to the younger brother,
yes,
the older brother starts changing the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my proposal, and we talked about this when playoff talk was going on. I think the Big Ten, the SEC, the 1 and 2 seeds from the regular season play each other. The winner of those 2 games gets a bye, and then 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5 play each other. Winners go to the playoff. And then in the ACC and Big 12, 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. Winners of those games go to the tournament.
And I'm okay with that. As long as it's not on the same day as the conference championships. You guys can play the day before.
Yeah, sure. If you want to have the one then you just have the Big Ten and the SEC, like the 1 versus 2 game just is the only 2 games that are played that day.
Yeah. And my pushback, I would want conference title games, but if we're gonna do that extra play and stuff, I don't want it to be conference only. I want it to be your 3rd place team versus our 3rd place team. Your 4th place.
I'd be into it.
That's what I'm into because I don't want the SEC to avoid playing us and beat up on each other and be like, see, we just keep beating up on each other. No.
I'm into it. I'm 100% into it. The 1 and 2 seeds from the Big Ten and the SEC.
They play their conference championship games.
Yep. I guess you could do that. You could do that with all 4 conferences.
Yeah, all 4. And then everybody else, come on. Like
do you rotate? Would you rotate the 1 year the Big Ten plays the ACC and the SEC plays the Big 12 and you just rotate around?
Yeah. But I mean, the wheel works out because
in this scenario, you would have 16 teams, and you know who gets fucked the most? Notre Dame, bitch. Join a conference. Join a conference. You fucking weasels.
Real. But my thing is, like, every time the SEC like plays another game against themselves, they say, see, we just keep beating up on ourselves. We're the best conference, and it's just the best football, and it's physical, and it's taxing, and it's us beating up on us. Come see us. Come see us.
Sure.
That's what I want.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I'd be totally into that.
Yeah. Cause here we go. Like what if Iowa Vandy was a play-in game?
Yeah, and Iowa beat that ass.
They did. But Vandy and SEC, they all say it's just an exhibition. It's just an exhibition. All right, let's make it worth something. Let's do it.
Sure.
Because I think the tides have turned in a real way, and I don't want the SEC to keep playing each other because that it's almost like a self-fulfilling thing for them to play each other. Because even when they lose, they win, and that's what I hate.
No, I listen. I'm all for making life. I just want it to be like I want it to just go to the NFL model. It just is better. I'm sorry, like the way they get to the post, like the way they structure their postseason is just better. The
Yeah.
scheduling is better. It's
Well,
just
they have
all
less.
of it.
They have less teams. Like that's the other part of it. Like they have less teams.
I get it, but it's like, damn,
Yeah.
you know, go. You know what? Honestly, bro, it's just like you know what model I like? The D3 model. You play 10 games. You have your 9 conference games and 1 non-conference game. You rank them out. Top 64, run it. Single elimination.
That's true. That's true.
Home games all the way until the championship game.
I mean, I tend to agree.
That would never happen in the Division One, but I think it'd be cool.
Dude, what's the score of the game? Because we're hosting a live during the Natty. Is that like petty of us?
I can't. You know what's funny, Chris, is my family pool. If Michigan wins, I win the pool, even though I picked them to lose to Duke.
Oh, okay.
But with the way the points work out, if Michigan wins, then I win. If UConn wins, Kara wins.
Shout out Kara.
I like Kara
more than you. You're rooting for UConn?
Hell yeah, I'm rooting for UConn. The fuck you mean?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know what I will do? Not that I'm rooting for it, but you know what I will do? I think the Big Ten has a chance to sweep across the board this year in sports.
So you're rooting for Michigan?
No, I'm not. But I'm saying if they do win, I'm not going to treat it like it's an L for me. I'm going to use it as the clean. Because Tyler, can you remember? Can you remember a time where the Big Ten clean swept all the American sport, like all the top sports?
Well, the only hope for the clean sweep would be for UCLA to win. And I know that they're ranked number 1, but
they're currently
damn, bro.
There's a 300 point Vegas odd difference between them and everybody else. They probably have a top 3 pitching staff. They have the best player in baseball, and they probably have the most potent offense. So yeah, I know it's a slim chance, but like I'm talking about baseball, women's basketball.
The thing about college baseball is you can't take UCLA versus the field. You would take the field. Because, what's funny, Chris? Chris?
I would absolutely. I'm not a moron. You can't. There's not a single sport where you can take one team versus the field.
I mean, that's not entirely true.
Dog, there is.
Nick Saban era, you would have taken Alabama versus the field,
and you would have lost.
And you would have won half the time in the playoff era.
I'm just saying, it's never a good bet. The versus the field thing, I think, is silly.
For any SEC people in the chat, what you think SEC football is actually what SEC baseball is. Just so you're aware.
I'm just saying, bro, we could be looking at UCLA World Series champion, UCLA women's basketball,
and they
Michigan
breaks off of South Carolina.
Right. Michigan men's basketball, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are both in the Frozen Four. You didn't even know that. They got Brock Boyd infiltrating Zone 6 while I'm infiltrating the Frozen Four. You know about that. And that's what we're calling them. Posh knows. It's now the Southeast Confederates. That's what we're doing now.
Fair enough.
The Southeast Confederates.
We got a super chat in here real quick. While you find a tier.
Oh, yeah.
Super chat. Kermit the Frog, $2. Appreciate it. Chris Drew versus David Cone, 1v1 to 21. Who is David Cone, like the Yankees pitcher, David Cone?
No, the Michigan backup quarterback.
Oh.
I'm look, you can clip this. I mean this as disrespectfully as possible. There is not a single thing on this earth that David Cone could beat me at. If it's golf and it's money on the line, we got Chris Drew. In basketball, do you see the color of my skin? In football, I don't care where he played at. I mean, like there is nothing on. I mean, and honestly, my domain is on a microphone, and I'm his boogeyman. So no, David Cone will be paralyzed. Whatever we play, whatever we do, David Cone's not beating me. Now, David Cone, the Yankee, he's got it. He can beat me in everything. He's one of the few people that I'll concede better than me on a microphone too.
You don't actually mean that.
I know I do mean that. I know David Cone and the Yankees are better than me on a microphone. Right now. You mean like a year.
Okay. Don B, thanks for the 20. Holy shit. Just showing love to my favorite biracial podcast. Hey, trying to end racism one topic at a time.
Yeah, dude, this is the shit that I don't know if Martin died for this, but I think he'd be proud of us. Is that fucked up to say? Slightly.
Yeah. Have you found one yet, or what?
Yeah. No, I got one. I was looking for one with names.
All right.
But there's no names on this one. But I want to see where your head's at.
All right, what do we got?
We got fast food.
Oh, boy.
We got fast food, dude. All right, dude.
Ooh. This is going to be some hot topics here. People are going to, no matter what, I'm going to piss somebody off. And you know what? That's okay.
All right, we're starting with Arby's. Where are you putting them?
Arby's is C for me.
Oh my God. This is going to be.
See, here we go. One thing in, and it's like I'm the bad guy.
Well, let me just say this. I need to make this bigger somehow. I'll just say this. To me, Arby's is S tier.
No. When your main thing is roast beef.
But is it about the main thing, or is it about what can we accomplish?
It's about what you're like. I'm going off of like I'm judging fast food on what are you famous for? And they're famous for roast beef.
Okay, I guess you know what? Like I will let you have that. But just know I strongly disagree.
All right. Put it in there.
All right,
this is my list, damn it. This is my tier list, damn it.
This is my tier list, damn it. All right, dude. I'm trying to make the new draft layout, dude. All right, dude. We got Arby's at the C tier.
Chris loves the meats.
Absolutely. Is this better? Can you guys see all right, or is this still distracting?
This is fine.
All right, bro. Next up, we got Burger King.
D. Sorry, you're the worst in your own category.
But how do we feel about Burger King cookies?
Honestly, bro, I haven't been to Burger King in 2 decades.
Did I tell my siblings it's horse meat, and they repeat that to their friends? You're like, ew, you have horse meat here? Anyway, sorry if you guys like Burger King. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
Rod has had BK breakfast.
No shot, bro.
Boy, I would rather serve whatever Walter White was having for breakfast than have that. I'll say you swear to the Lord. I would eat gas. Burger King breakfast, boy, you're indestructible. Boy, put you under the jail.
Rod's toilet has never seen worse days. Oh, Rod.
Blood getting French toast from Burger King goes straight to hell, dude. Nah, that's crazy. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. My fault, Rod. You can. I'm a holler. I'll send you a gift card to Burger King next time I holler at you. Man, it's nuts. Little Caesar's Pizza.
So I have a special place in my heart for Little Caesar's Pizza.
That's the
not that it's good pizza, but when I was playing college baseball, our coach always ran practice past when the dining hall was open, and we were broke as hell. And you could go get the $5 pizza with one of the homies and split it. At $2.50, you were full, half pizza.
Okay, so I'm hearing B tier.
It's still a C, but
all that.
I can't help it. It's bad pizza, bro. It's not good pizza.
Sentimental shit, but that shit is still ass. All right. We got Carl's Jr.
I can't ever say I've had Carl's Jr.'s before. So I'm going to say C.
Okay, so I had it one time when I was working at a car shop, and I peed out of my butt for the remainder of my shift. So it's a D for me.
All right, D. I'll take it. Never been
Actually,
there.
I'll put it. It was tasty. It just
No,
I was in pain, dude. I had to clock. They made me clock out, Tyler. That's how long I was good.
When you say you're peeing out your ass, it's an F. It's to be an F.
Tyler, they made me clock out.
Tough.
We got Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is S.
Bingo. You know ball. I don't care about their policies. I like their food.
Yep.
Are you a milkshake guy from there? Or are you a lemonade guy?
Both.
What's your Chick-fil-A order?
I do the club.
I don't like bacon, dude.
The club with fries, extra Chick-fil-A sauce, and a milkshake usually. But
Okay.
if it's like a summertime, I'm getting the lemonade and the milkshake. I'm doing both.
Okay. That's real. That's real. Chipotle?
So Chipotle is tough because like Chipotle used to be like I think Chipotle is probably an A.
Okay.
I think it is like Chipotle is really it's not as good as it used to be.
It's S tier when you recognize who's making your bowl.
Yeah. And the problem is it also depends on which Chipotle you go to.
That's facts. I only go to one on Highland Square, and I don't like ordering online. I like going so they can look me in my eyes and see how hungry I am. Online orders kill Chipotle.
That's true. That's true.
Domino's.
Ooh, Domino's is B. Like it's good. It's really good cheap pizza. But there's better pizza.
I mean, it's Tim Duncan. I'm never the best player in the world at one time, but I'm always going to give you 15 and 10.
Yeah. But I think it's a B.
Yeah, that's fair. Dairy Queen.
So it's how do you put an ice cream place in fast food? Because if you're going by straight food, it's a D. Like I'm not eating food at Dairy Queen, bro. I'm not doing it.
Flamethrower burger? No bacon, extra sauce?
No.
Oh,
I'm not eating food at Dairy. I've told you, when I go to food places, I'm going for what they're known for.
You ain't never had the flamethrower burger, no bacon, extra sauce. You never had a chili dog from Dairy Queen?
If there was a DQ ice cream, it's an S. If it's Dairy Queen food, I'm going C. I'm just not doing it.
Well, like here we go. Like how happy this is supposed to be like how happy would it make you if you had it right now?
What am I having from there is the problem with Dairy Queen.
Whatever it's your world. It's your list, Tyler. Just place it.
B. Fuck. Fine, I'll meet you in the middle.
B?
B.
Okay. You're doing it good. All right, Five Guys.
Ooh, see, this is hard. I think it's probably an S, but it's so expensive.
But say you got to take out you got to get a PPP loan to get Five Guys, dude.
A. We're gonna say it's A. The food is really good, but god damn, it's expensive.
Right, dude. And like the more people you have in your family, the more. Dude, one time everybody was hungry. I went to Five Guys, got food just for me, eating in the car in the driveway. All right, we got In-N-Out Burger.
So I think it's S. I think In-N-Out Burger. Can I ask? Can you scroll down? It is all right. Based on what you're seeing, it's the best on this list. So S.
Okay. All right.
If Culver's was on this list, Culver's would be the S burger, and In-N-Out would be A.
I like Five Guys burgers more than I like In-N-Out burgers.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
The double is like a legendary thing.
All right, Kevin Love. Jack in the Box.
Never had it. D.
Same. I'm not going to be here. Hey, this is a real. I'm not even going to say it. Where are you placing KFC? The Colonel.
So the problem with the Colonel is there are some hitters on the Colonel's menu.
They got some thumpers. They do.
I'm gonna say B.
Okay.
Because there's some hitters, but there's also some misses. So B.
Maybe they're the Tim Duncan.
You put KFC in A.
Oh, sorry. And my intrusive thoughts won. All right, dude. The Golden Arches.
A. It's just too legendary, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fair. That's fine. Panda Express.
I can't, dude. It's a D. It gives me the runs. I can't do it. I
literally
can't even leave. I can't even leave Panda Express without having to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So it's a D.
Papa John's.
Papa John's is A.
Shout out Urban Meyer.
Papa John's to me, Papa John's is the best cheap pizza out there.
Jacob said it's a skill issue. I used the Papa John's logo for a meme the other day. Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches. My shoes bigger. Like talking about the SEC. All right, Pizza Hut.
C. It's been around too long for me to give it a D, but it's not great. I don't like it. I don't think it's good pizza.
Dude, was it you that was like used to who in your grade at our church was obsessed with the combination Taco Bell Pizza Hut?
Chris, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I think it was David and one of David's friends.
No idea, bro.
You know who I'm talking about, David?
No, you're talking about something that happened 15 years ago, man.
Bro, Johnston.
Whatever.
My memory's too crazy. All right, dude. Popeyes.
I really like Popeyes.
What?
I do. I really like it.
I think that you don't.
No, I really do. I think it's an A.
Oh, Popeyes chicken sandwich.
I think it's better than KFC, but not better than Chick-fil-A.
Their chicken sandwich is up there with Chick-fil-A's. No, not as good, but it's close. It's different. Yeah. It's really good, though.
I think it's an A.
Yeah, that's fair. Sonic. Best commercials.
Best commercials, but like it's not better than Sheetz.
Dude, I'm a Sheetz believer. So where you putting it?
I think Sonic is a C.
C?
Yeah. You got to put Jack in the Box at D, bro.
No, I will not judge.
Subway. What a fall off, man. Like what a crazy fall off.
The subs never smell like the restaurant.
I think it's a C, man. I think it's a C. Like, not only have you fallen off food wise, but like Jared was a bad guy. Like the guy that made Subway famous was a bad dude.
Yeah, Jared being a bad guy definitely hurts the cause, you know?
Yeah. 100%. So I'll give it a C. What we got left here?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell's an A. I mean, sorry, an S. Taco Bell is like it's just too legendary. It's
legendary. It's late night. It's drunk. It's sober. It hits.
Yeah. I don't eat at Taco Bell, but when I do very, very occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking like once every like 6 months.
Dude, I feel like
when I do though,
I go.
And it's so good.
See, here's the thing. My issue with this is you punish some places for how your stomach feels afterwards, and then you ignore it for Taco Bell. Why is that?
Because Taco Bell, it does better. It tastes better going down. I'm sorry.
Skill issue? Said it's a skill issue. Wendy's.
Wendy's is an A, man. The Baconator is too good, bro. And the Baconator is good. The Baconator is real.
Wendy's is an S tier for me.
You know what? I agree. You've convinced me because I thought about like not only do they have the Baconator, but they also have the Frosty.
The Frosty, the chicken sandwich, the breakfast.
Yeah. Like no, it's S tier.
I mean, shit, I got a salad from Wendy's and was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then last one, White Castle.
D. And Jack's is D. Put Jack's in the D.
Bro, I've never had it.
What does that say?
I don't know, but I've never had
this for 28 years and never had Jack in the Box. That means it's bad.
I've never had Culver's, and I don't think Culver's is bad. White Castle's tricky, bro, because as a child, my uncle, he's not dead, but I almost said rest in peace on accident. But my first Ohio State game, he took me to the White Castle near campus to go see Ohio State Akron back in 2007. And I thought it was so good. And then I burped, and it was the most horrific burp of my entire life. It smelled so bad. But I think the idea of White Castle is so cool.
Nah, that's true. Maybe we should move White Castle to C.
Yeah. There we go. This was good.
Yeah. This was fun. I like my list. I think I'm stamping my list. It's probably not better than my last one when we did the SEC teams, but this one I feel good about. I feel good at the top, and I feel good at the bottom.
Yeah, this is a diverse list. I not too many disagreements here, and honestly, like I like this offseason topic. I like doing these. This was fun. Honestly, I need everybody in here. It's 50 of you. Leave comments. What else should we do? Like, what else should we tier list? And we will pick one, do one at the end of every show. I don't want to do anything else. I want to end like that.
I'm good with it.
That was good. But we might have the dopest pod out. I'm Chris. That's Tyler.
Peace.